Hey there, lads and lasses. This here, of course, is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States. Here on a Friday morning, it is a little bit past 11 a.m. That can only mean that it's time for some Buffooncraft SMP Season 6. Welcome to Friday, everyone. Give myself a little Bill Haven wee heavy here. Which means I'm going to be useless for the rest of the afternoon. All right, we've had some significant developments in the Buffooncraft Season 6 server since Skies has ended. Skies will be completely over by this weekend. The last event was the weekend before, and this weekend we'll have the server tour. We'll tour all the builds, and that'll be it. And Buffoon Skies Season 2 will be wrapped up, and we'll be back migrated over to Buffooncraft Season 6. Some of us have never left Buffooncraft Season 6. We've been going on strong, soldiering on. Let's get in there, and it's best just to show you all what's been going on in there. Let's see here. Let's make some adjustments. And switch over to the display scene. There we go. We'll log on to the server. I'm the only one on the server. Once more. That's okay. I think I'm still over at Dora's place, actually, from the last time I was here. Let's do the sleeping thing. There we go with. And let's do some of this. So there have been some developments in the lore. Lore-wise. Let's see, we'll do that. We'll do this. Oh, you might have seen it. We have wings, people. We can fly. So we've been given the powers of the race of Elytrans. There's Arma. Welcome on in, Arma. Since we have completed Buffoon Skies and served our patrons well, they have awarded us with their powers. Now, this is odd because we do have the Elytra, but if you've noticed, we also are wearing chest armor. So we've been gifted permanent Elytra that do not break, do not wear in durability, and allow us to wear chest armor as well. Check it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, we haven't, as far as I know, haven't officially been granted access to the end yet. So I think that's going to happen. But for now, at least we can fly. And once more, the map has just gotten oh so much smaller now that we can fly. So you can see the chunks loading in the distance there. We're flying over Sage's base right now. Look at that, man. This is so magnificent. We'll get some of the other chunks to load in here. Last weekend, the moment we got the wings, I took a flyabout to try to reload as many of the chunks as I could into Bobby. Some of them we need to catch up on. These ones down this end of the map. I hadn't been out here. So I'll try to take it a little bit slower here. But you can see off in the distance, you can see Drost off in the distance there. And you can see parts of Skipton over there. You can see Corny's base. There's Shut Mountain's base and Nebula's base. And Skip's base over there in the very far distance. You can see my base and OPG's base. And then you can see Nova's pyramid way out there. Very cool. So right now, we're just taking a fly around. A flyabout, having us a flyabout so we can reload chunks. Here's the old Guardian farm. And I believe... Lux's base will be over in this direction. Yeah, Lux's base is right there. There's the Halloween build. Really, really cool. And again, you know, the moment you get the Elytra, the map instantly shrinks so much. God, this was such a fun build to do. Then we have the growing, developing Drost shopping district. Have the Drost east side. With Skipton down here and the 2025 Christmas area with that janky wheat farm. Here's the XP Guardian farm out here. And as far south as we are, we can see our bases. There's Nova's base. Here's OPG's base. My base is right there. Corny's base. You can see Skip's base right there. Nebs and Shut. Really cool. I came down here, like I said, last weekend to try to reload these chunks. Some of them apparently didn't save. So I'm going to hug the coast down here and try to reload some of these. Now, these chunks here technically aren't really loaded. That's Bobby simulating them. So I'm trying to get Bobby to do the same over here. Because we're going to be making this flight a lot. North and south along this inland sea. We can still always take the nether track to get out here. But for quite some time, we're going to be wasting a lot of rockets just having fun flying around. Because it's number one, it's a gorgeous map. But number two, the builds, people. The builds, you know. It's all about the builds. We have some spectacular landscape down here. I'll tell you, myself, Nova, OPG, we picked a beautiful area to build in which to build. And it's cool because we're getting X-ray effect, you know, as we're flying and loading these chunks, we can see some of the stuff down here. Like there's a lush cave below this, you can see. you've got like this small archipelago right here in the middle. And over here is an area in which I was originally thinking of building because it was so cool. And in hindsight, I think I should have stuck to it. I really do. I mean, I built in the Mushroom Island, and it's cool. It's a cool Mushroom Island biome, but God, I'm getting a little tired of that biome, you know, generations. And then Baby Zombie Rush is built on a Mushroom Island, right? Because it kind of has to be. And now here we are again in the Mushroom Island. I'm getting a little tired of that biome. Here's where I think I would have liked to have built. I did consider this. Especially right here. Look at this harbor here, this natural harbor. This would have been so cool to build something here. And then you've got a cool blend of biomes here. You've got a mini Badlands. I still call them mesas. You've got a mini Badlands over here with some really cool cave structures in here. And then when you go behind it, you get some of the birch forest, which I'm not crazy about birch forest. It's one of my least liked biomes, but if you're thinking just resources, it's very cool. And then you've got this jungle biome right behind it. And again, I'm just loading in these chunks to save them in Bobby, so they'll fill in the background when we're over at our base. You know, I have to adjust the cloud height and get the cloud height up there a little bit more. I'm also making note of the ocean monuments that are nearby, because quite soon I'm going to be needing to raid those. Some of them have already been raided, but I'm not going for the standard loot, everybody. But now, as I fly over this past Nova's base and over to my own base, you start to really be able to appreciate how beautiful this area is. It's just, especially at nighttime with the warm ocean and the coral reefs and stuff. It's just Nova's base, of course, absolutely spectacular. Look at the lighting effect he did around the that man, I swear. And then you come over here to this god-awful eyesore that really desperately needs work. But if you look in the far distance, you can see the squid farm way over there. So cool. Of course, our mob farm and rocket factory, which we are not regretting at all at this point. Mighty OPG's base and Shut Nebs' base there in the background. So cool. And then you can even see Dora's base way, way out there. I'm going to take a quick spin around, even though it's nighttime, over by this western shore here so I can fill in these chunks because I love seeing that in the background. There's our giant on which we shall be working today. And we've got some nice stream work to be able to do on that. We're just going to be digging. It's going to be so nice. It's not complicated. Just digging, people. Just digging it. I'm going to fly down behind this mountain. I tell you, I'm very, very tempted to make this mountain peak a volcano. This also would have been a cool area to make a base. With that, a volcano, and then you have this inner lake, and you can make a passage out to the open sea. You've got some interesting, like, bodies of water back here and stuff. Again, I'm just loading it in so we can see it from the distance. And it will complete the scene, but... And again, it's amazing how small the map gets the moment you have the ability to fly. Then over here, we can see the squid farm coming in, right? Really one of my favorite builds. You can really appreciate it when you look down on it from above and you can see the bowl. Then we have the lighting effects. All right, I think we've loaded in enough now. We can see around us. I think this will give Bobby some good files in which it can build the background scenery. And we are out of rockets. At least out of rockets in our inventory. Believe me, thanks to that, we have more rockets than we'll ever need. Nova and I just built I wouldn't say just built, but had quite early on in the season built ourselves a rocket factory over there, preparing for this day. Zero regrets. I'm wondering if I can make it out there from here. I don't think so. I think I'm going to wind up landing. Okay, we're close. Close enough. Then we'll take a little spin right around the island itself so we can appreciate the views. Like, that view over there is still just, God, that's amazing. Hello, Mushi. Hello, Mushi. And of course we have Gaston up there. We have wee Gastonio. He's over there. There's all my bony buddies right there. Huxley! Well slept. Going to need plenty of rockets in the old inventory. There we go. Box O rockets. Right. Let's do that. Let's have a fly about the island itself. Although we did this with a happy gas not too long ago. It just feels like it was long ago. Look at that. I mean, if I ever do get to build this island out before the end of the season, it's going to be very, very cool. I mean, it's just the right size and shape with which we can make a really good base. But look at that scenery. That is so cool. RPG. What a builder, man. What a builder. And look, you can see Shut Nebs' place with Skip's place in the background. You can even see Corny's skull way over there. And then you can start to see all the areas of Drost and stuff in the background. Then you get an idea of just how small this map really is. Or, you know, our build areas are. We're really not that far away. Look at this. Look at this scene, people. That is terrifying. All right. I think we need to get to work, though. Now, Dora, because she's an absolute legend, after we had logged off the last time, she had done some building down here. She had done some excavating, some digging. And let me see, we made an access point right here. Yeah, and she's just been digging this out. She went down a couple of layers, so we're going to continue. But there are a couple of things I want to do. I think we're past the water pockets now, but we're going to need to keep some sand in our inventory in case we aren't. The other thing that we're going to need, I think we should sleep this off, right? Because is it daytime or? Yeah, we did sleep it off. The other thing I think we should do is to make an incinerator. I think we've been saving enough of these materials now. So we should make ourselves an incinerator and bring that. Let's load up on some sand for filling in water pockets. We'll do that. We can. Let's get ourselves some torches so we can light as we go, and then as we demolish, we'll just recover them and replace them. But we need to set ourselves up with an incinerator. Now we're going to be doing stuff like this constantly. Because we can. Just one hop and we're here. So we need to set ourselves up an incinerator like this. So let's get some items. We can probably use this one, right? Do a little inventory management while we're here. Andesite. Diorite. Granite. I don't think I have anything for the stone variants. Have I just been doing this? That's gravel and cobble, I think. Obsidian. No, I don't think we have a dedicated chest for those. I think we've just been doing things like this. Clay, gravel, copper ore should go right in here. And I have to remember not to pan the camera so darn fast. Then all the clay items go right in there. Okay, cool. Incinerator. This one I built vertically. I have different builds for these ones. You know what? I think we should be good. Let's just wing it. So I can't really remember anything at all to hold it in my memory, so I often have to like reinvent stuff constantly. Splash! That's so cool. But I think we can just build stuff right here. I hear a slimy boy somewhere. And the incinerator, I think we should bring down to the lowest level. So we'll be heading down to here to... And let's put the torch in the offhand so at least you can see what we're doing. I can hear zomboids. Yeah, there's very likely all kinds of caves down here and stuff. Let's see where I'm at here. F3, targeted block. Yeah, we need to go down one more. There we go. Yeah, this is where we should be. Not here. But there. That's where we want to be. And so, if that being the case, let's do that. And then see, we can contain the water that way. Actually, we need to go down one more with this. That's the layer on which we want to be. And we can do this like oh, hold on. Like that. There. Now we can go clear out this. There's Princess Tiny One. Welcome on in. How are you doing today there, young lady? Today we're just digging. I'm doing good. Glad to hear it. I hope Mama and Bubba are doing well. Let's see. We're here, right? Yeah, see, we do have some water we need to fill in here. Yeah, there's still a lot of water. And we also need to put the overlay on. You're going to lurk? Okay, appreciate the lurk. Okay, we should be able to see the outer levels here of I should say the perimeter, the border of our dig here. Yeah, okay, we can. That's good. Oh, we're going to be digging that out soon. We just need a place nearby here where we can set up our incinerator. And you know what? I think just right over here is good enough. Hopefully we won't get to it. Let's dig out a little more and see if we're going to strike any more water. Ooh, diamonds. Oh, and there's stone-based diamonds too. Tiny One. This is Mama's favorite. So she'll be getting a gift from us quite soon. Let's see. Let's do this. We'll just dig right right out to the perimeter. Yeah, see, we have some caves here and all kinds of things out there. Yeah, but you can see, right? I mean, it's having to deal with the water here. Now, I'm not really too concerned with dealing with all the water right now. Wow, look at this cave system. See, we do have a little bit of water there with which we have to deal. But you can see we're going to hit the border, the edge pretty soon here. Yeah, there it is. Right? We'll head out that way in that direction. So I think this will be pretty dry right in here. Then we'll head out this way. We'll get the extents of, yeah, okay, we have some water with which we need to deal. So we do have to figure this out pretty much at the beginning here, because the moment we lay down redstone and we hit a pocket of water here, it's going to nuke our redstone. That's never a cool thing, so... There we go. You can see where we have quite a bit of water with which we need to deal. Yeah, we're going to spawn mobs here. We've got to deal with this. There. Let's do that. I think the water washed my original torch away. Let's dig this way. Yeah, we are dealing with a lot of water here. Yeah, that's going to make this part of the build kind of difficult. Ooh, redstone. Nice. Okay, and there we are at the limit of this. And you know what? I think maybe we should just... Let's try to carve out our lower limit here. Let's just work on that. I seem interested in doing this, so let's just go with it. You can see what we're dealing with here. I think we're good there, though. And we have some filling we have to do, but it's... Yeah, see, every time we break into some water, it rips the torches up. So we're trying to do a little prep ahead of time to avoid that happening quite so often. I just wonder, like, how far we're going to go before we hit. that's nice because we can just follow our overlay here. But we are going to get into some cavey bits here quite soon. I can see some of the pockets opening up here, which is good. I mean, it's less that we have to mine, so that's always a good thing. And I'm filling this in because this is the floor on which we need to stand. But you can see some drippies above us there, so we know there's some moisture just waiting to cause some problems. Yeah, like right there. So cool. There we go. Let's go define the border here like this. We'll go do that like right there. And again, you know, we have a huge pocket here that's going to need some cleaning up. So let's go around this for now, because I do believe it's better to deal with this from the top down. So let's find the edge of it, and we'll see if we can... See, this is the annoying thing about water, right? Constantly having to deal with the torches being washed away. See if we can trace the edge of this out. All right, we may have found the edge here. All right, this is a pretty big water pocket, but it's not that bad. I think we can just deal with this one right here. Right here and now, you know? There, right there, okay. Now we can do that, okay. How far this way can we go before we strike water? Yeah, see, this is like right on the edge. So let's follow along maybe right here. We'll see if we can get like a big enough area out and open here so we can put our incinerator in place. Where we won't have to be too concerned with the water flooding us out all the time. There we go. And we'll just do some of this kind of stuff in here. Again, you know, we've got quite a bit of water that we have to deal with here, but this isn't bad. I think we can fill this. Oh, please. It's been absolute ages since I've had to do this kind of work. Which probably shows. There we go. And again, we'll put it up there on the wall so it doesn't keep getting washed away. We can do that. So we can, and we'll try to blast away as much of this as we can down here. But it looks like we have some sizable caverns of water we're going to have to deal with. But like I said, you know, those I feel are better dealt with from the top down. And I've often thought about, you know, using a solid block that breaks easier with the pickaxe. That way you don't have to change out tools from pickaxe to shovel, shovel to pickaxe, back and forth. You could just use something that breaks super easy, like netherrack or sandstone. Tough also breaks pretty easy. Yeah, see, I think I just do that and I'm good. But, you know, I do, you know, as fun as it is puzzling stuff out like redstone and stuff during a Baby Zombie Rush stream, this kind of mindless work is nice. I mean, you know, we do have to do a little bit of thinking here as far as water management and stuff, but for the most part, this is just, you know, hack and whack kind of stuff. It's nice. I was thinking on foregoing today's stream, Buffooncraft stream, because Skies has me really burnt out. I think I've had enough of Skies now, and I'd really just like to wrap it up. And totally my own fault. Once again, I think I blew it when it comes to Skies. It's that kind of event with that kind of building is really hard for me to do. And I think I was just way too ambitious with our build. And so I'm going to end up with the thing I don't like the most, which is an incomplete build. I hate that. But there's really nothing I can do about it. I just didn't manage my time well enough in that. And I'm still trying to figure out that kind of building. Soul sand, what am I looking for? I'm going to do my mini incinerator, my handheld incinerator, which are these things right here. Until I'm ready. So I'll just keep that in the offhand. And what I'll usually do is a little something like this. Then I'll head into here and I'll be like, you know, sand will keep, but you know, I have enough of this kind of stuff. Dirt I'll hang on to too. I do need to keep that in there. See, that's what we call inventory management, people. Yeah, one of the other reasons why I'm only going down to layer 0 is to reduce the amount of deep slate that we have to dig out, because it does not insta-mine, so not a whole lot of fun to have to deal with, you know. Plus, just mining this out ahead of time down here will give us an idea of what we have to deal with in regards of, you know, water pockets and stuff. We've already seen a couple of very, very big ones. So there's Lone. Hey, welcome on in, Lone Star. You should all see the auto shout out there for the mighty Lone Star. Some more diamonds. Look, look, diamonds. Oh, wait, we've got some more stone diamond ore too. Nebula. Check your post office box the next time you're on. How you doing up there today, Lone? I say up there. I should say over there because, well, I don't know. I am a few latitudes lower down here. I forget that. I'm not in New England anymore. Okay, let's go blast this out. It's nice we had a nice overcast and very moist morning. So that was cool. I enjoy those here. Reminds me of home. Tired, it's been a long week in work and I only get tomorrow off, then back to, ooh. Okay. But after that, after Sunday, your 3.5 hours you have to do on Sunday, you're good for a while, right? Hopefully. I feel bad for Kachi. Kachi's had also an extremely busy week. Working Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Oh, okay. Look, sorry. Yeah, Kachi's had a very busy week, so it's good that he has nothing going on for the weekend at all, so he can recover, because there's plenty of times where, you know, we're commuting back and forth from the school or orchestra or, you know, and I look over and he's just out like a light. Then 4 days off. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, we got to watch our spawn spots here and there. And I'm usually on the other buffoons and other streamers, you know, hey, when you're using mini HUD, you know, turn off your light levels if you're not using them, but I am absolutely using them right now. That's why they're on. So light levels are going to stay on for a little while, folks. Probably for most of the stream, actually. You know, we always tease Lone Star about trolling us for the status and whatnot. Speaking of which, I mean nobody else is on the server right now, but you know I do troll the other streamers about light levels for Mini HUD. Please, can you turn those things off? My eyes, people, my eyes. Okay, we need to clean things up here a little bit. A little inventory management. Get rid of that, and that, and that. Let's hang on to the diamonds, shall we? But this other stuff, we don't need lapis. Iron, yeah, we don't need any of that. We've got so much. We're so filthy rich in Buffooncraft. There we go. There we go. I love hitting the pockets of the stone variants. How are we doing for time here? Oh, we're almost at time to take a break. I was thinking when I was trying to plan out some of the stuff in my head earlier this morning. That with the water effect, this should really do it. If we're using the black concrete down here and we make ourselves a decent enough gradient all the way up to the edge of the pit at the top, we should get the effect and not have to build the giant's body all the way down past this. It should disappear nicely down into here, so I think that's going to work. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, so we've got to bring all of this back, and then we've got to get that over there. But you know what? We will break for some ads. We'll run about 3 minutes of ads so we can nuke the ads for the incoming viewers, and then we'll be right back. Hey there. And we're back. All right. Back to the digging. We almost have enough here to finish this up. You know, I was going to dig this out and fill this in with a deep slate, but we're going to replace this with the concrete anyway, the black concrete, so it doesn't matter. One of the things I was thinking of too is just to add some animation and some movement, I want to put some soul sand down here so it will bubble and make bubbles come up to the surface. I did want that. It is kind of a big area though, and I think all those particle effects are going to slow down the server, so I don't know about that. We'll have to see. I think the server can handle it. I think our devs know what they're doing. They've got the server maxed out as much as it can be. But, you know, I always like to consult them before I do something like that. We can fill this, I think. I'm going to deal with this right now. All right. Yeah, you know, I'm just leaving this over here now, I guess. Let's make ourselves a little bit of room in the inventory. And you know what? Let's just set up a shulker for the stuff we want to save. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Which is mostly the redstone and the diamonds. We'll do that. And then just everything else, incinerate. Here we go. We'll do this. Okay, that's better. That's better. We got some nice stone variant here. Granite is a block that I do not use a lot. In fact, I think the only time I really use granite is for texturing brick. That's about it. Uh-oh. Water! Oh, we've got quite a big patch of this. And that was the idea behind this, if I remember correctly. It's just following the wall along because, yeah, there's a huge pocket of water above this. And we're going to have to deal with this. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Now, see, look at all this water, this huge underwater cave here. My God. So when we're dealing with this underwater cave, one of the very first things we're going to have to do is fill in the sides here so we don't have to deal with that water, and that water won't come rushing in. Then, oh my God, there's going to be so much sand. We're going to have to deal with this like chunk by chunk, I think. I think that's the way we're going to do this. Trying to find my way back. I think it's right here, right? Is this where we're at? No. Is it right here? Could be right here. Yeah, there we are. All right. Let's do that. I think this is good enough for now. Let's set up an incinerator. One thing I think I can do, though, is to take this out. This stuff has to stay in, but this might be able to come out. I'm just not sure how far down. So let's just do that until we hit water, and then we'll block it back in. I hear a zomboid. When I do the sides, I'm going to have to make those an easy to break block as well, because those are going to be replaced by a gradient. So tuff is a good candidate for that, but so isn't sandstone. Yeah, okay, I think we're right there. I guess we probably shouldn't bother placing torches down there yet. Maybe we can just skim this until we hit water and just do it this way. I do have a lot of gravel here, though. Well, not a lot, but let's just pull this. Here's a block I'd like to try to do something with, this deep slate copper ore. Maybe like a decorative block or something. I think that would be cool. All right, so we pretty much reached the limit there. We can use sand to like cue ourselves in as to where the edge is. Yeah, all of this is going to be water, right? Like that. This as well. Right. Now we have this with which to deal. Like that. Okay, I like that. Then I think I can just trim like right along this edge here if I do this right. Okay, let's reset the playlist. Thusly. Okay, I'm starting to see this now. There we go. Yeah, we've got some caviness down there. There we go. And let me see, a little bit right there. And that cues us in here where the edge is, so we should be good. Like that, okay. And then you can see we're right at the edge here. Then we have this big, large open area. Gonna have to do something with this. What? I don't know. Black concrete, that's what. Oh, speaking of which, we're gonna have to make a we're gonna have to make a concrete farm. But I know Shut and Nebs have a concrete farm. Again, since I have to break this, I mean, there's no sense in filling it with deep slate, right? There we go. Whew. Some big old caviness there. All right. See if I can reach there from here. Look at that, look at that. Let's try to define some edges here, if we can. Thinking something like that. Okay, that's good. I can hear some skellies. Oh, and they're already trying to shoot. We'll put up some sand here. Like so. Good. I don't know if we're going to be able to reach over here or not. Yeah, I think the edge is going to go right to here. So I think something like that is going to have to do. And then, you know, I don't think we're going to be able to make it all the way around there, and I don't think it's worth it, honestly. Okay, redstone. Well, first of all, let's clear the inventory. Let's do that. Let's get rid of some light levels so I can give your eyes a break. We will do this. Get right here. We'll do that. Then I think we're good. Save that, that. Keep a little of that in the inventory like that. We're good. Okay, so there's redstone right there. Pull out some redstone. We will... let's see, let's get some tech. This is weird. They're two different colors of gray. Devs. Explain. Relative allocation rate, fabric. Pickaxe, shulker box is facing up. That's a light gray shulker box. They're both light gray shulker boxes, but this one's this color, and that one is that color. Is it a lighting thing? Yeah, I think it's totally a lighting thing, right? Okay, that explains it. It's lighting, everyone. Weird. Lighting dynamics. Let's see. We're going to need some of these. We're going to need more than one of those. Comparatives, sure. Please. Yeah, we need more than a few. We might need some repeaters. But we're going, we might need some torches. We're gonna need some hoppers, absolutely. Do we have a bucket of lava? Probably not. Is this basic kit? Where's basic kit? No lava. I mean, we can always use like a campfire or a or just regular fire, right? We could do that for incineration. Chests? No. Black concrete powder. Look at that. Let's see what else we have in some of it. Please. Come on. Come on now. That looks like just junk. I think we're going to have to go fetch a chest. In the meantime, we do need a dispenser. Or, actually, we just need a dropper. It's really a dropper is what we need, not a dispenser. And let's get it. Let's put the whole thing like right here. This should be good enough. I'm gonna do that. What else? We need a hopper feeding into this. Now, one of the things I like to do is to have it read the chest, not the hopper. All right, so we'll say that maybe our chest is going to be like right there. Okay. So I want to read the chest, not the hopper. So when the chest is empty, then I want it to shut off. That means, let me see. Smooth stone for substrate. We will use, I don't know, well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll go vertical with it. Maybe we'll go vertical with it. We can do that. Sticky piston. Maybe like this, right? I think this is pretty good. If I could use a target block up here to bring the signal down. We can put a redstone comparator. Is it here? No. It's the other way. Under. There we go. I think that'll do that. And then let's go get ourselves a target block. Do we have one? Yes. These things are not prohibitively, but they are expensive. They are. But they're so good at what they do. All right, we just need a double chest. We can get a double chest above and then bring it down. And I think I have some glass up there too. I can bring down. I do have some glass right here. And we can just put a fire right there. Like this. We can do something like that. There we go. I think this will help us out a lot. Let's go put our redstone away. Let's go up and get some double chests. How am I doing for time, by the way? I have 31 minutes left of the stream. I am doing well. All right, so we need to replace that with a chest. If that's going to be a chest, it's going to need to open at the top. So we will have that. All right. Come on. Hey, give me the fast swimming rate. There we go. If all of these chests are full, then I just may fly over and go get some. Yeah, I think they're all full. All of them. Yeah, let's just go bring some over. Any excuse to fly, right? Oh! That's so cool. Really? Thunder? Fuck. Fine. We want a double chest so we can load it right up. This is the really fun thing to do. Splash. Just make a big arc. I should really get rid of this stuff here. Because it is annoying. I should leave a little bit of that, though, right there. Maybe I'll deal with that a little later. Well, I do have some dirt, right? It should be good enough. Maybe if I did something like this. Stop with the swimming. Oh, because we do have that, and it's all water above. I was hoping I could get a water stream. Oh, because I'm not lined up. That's why. Let's try to line up a little bit better. There we go. And then when I'm over here like this, I could just do that. Oh, look at this guy. You're messing with the wrong buffoon, dude. That means any buffoon. They're done. Okay. All right, so we can do that. And then here we'll do that. Thusly. We should be okay. This should make coming in and out of here a little bit easier now from... If I do this, we should be good. All right. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it makes seeing this a little bit easier now. Then when I come down to here, this, we can get over to here. Like that. And when the chest is empty, it's off. And so these things are super easy to make. You guys can see this, right? Where we have the chest full of items. We want the chest items to go into the hopper, into the dropper, and then the dropper to push them out into the fire, right? So we have a comparator on the back, and it tells us if there's any items in here at all. The target block just brings it down, activates the piston, pushes the piston, and then you get the double observer pulse coming out the back, and each pulse clicks an item out of the dropper, right, and into the fire, right? So it's pretty straightforward. Super useful to whip these up when you're demolishing things. Because the inventory fills up so fast, right? And a lot of this stuff, you seldom need it. So, all right, let's make sure there's lots of sand in the inventory. We only need a little bit of dirt. But there must be a lot of sand. These can go back in ahead. What do we have? That's, and then basic kit can go back in there too. Here you can use anything for these, really. You can use the fire, you can use lava. I usually like to put lava one block down so I can see the items falling in. In fact, what we could do, I like to see the items falling in. It's just so satisfying. So you can do something like maybe this. There we go. Like that. And then if I go like this, right? All right, it's ready to go, but see, I'm reading the chest, not the dispenser, not the dropper. If I do this, though, we'll get us some items. There we go. And then, see, we don't want any of this, right? So we come over to here, we go like this. Rid of that, and that. And you can see the little items perishing in the fire. Right? Nice. Bye-bye. I think we're good here. Now, to the task at hand. We need a lot of sand, though, because we have so much filling to do. That's soul sand. Basic kit shulker. I think we need to grab some sand from up above. Deep slate, almost shears, magma block. Concrete powder. Yeah, we need to get some sand from above. Because we're going to be using so much sand. So much sand. This is weird. I should have depth strider 3. All right, we should have tons of sand in here. Sandstone. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. And look, we have a whole shulker of sand right there. I don't know if Dora's still using the sand or not, but there's plenty here for her if she needs it. And the good thing about the sand is, like I said, when you're using it just to displace water like this, you can recover it all. So. And yeah, so we're just going to bring this whole level down. So we need our border on. We still need to keep light levels on. Sorry. Totally a thing. But this is good. You know, you can see we're in a lot of stone layers right now. And usually I like to mine in these nice, long, neat strips. But we have so many open cave areas and stuff in here, it's really not worth it. Just mass destruction. You know, I've often thought, you know, it might be cool if you could set up the allays to go behind you and pick this stuff up and like put it in the incinerator. But God, they're such a pain to use. Or I don't know, maybe the copper golems, which are just earthbound allays, really. Oh, yang. Or at least they seem like it. This is a job for Nebula. Nebula would really get into this. She'd have this whole thing done in like a half an hour. I don't know, maybe go around and grab the perimeter like this first. Go define the perimeter. Oh, but you can see where we're dealing with some water here now, right? So you can see how deep this water pocket is too, right? Let's go take that out. You know, I might want to save some of this copper because copper is actually hard to come by. I know you can get it from stripping out the trial chambers. I think that's the best way to do it nowadays, but let's get over here. Let's get over there. We're good here, like this. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with a lot of this kind of stuff. But as I've been saying, it's easier to deal with this from the top down because of gravity. And this is like worse than trying to clear out an ocean monument or something like that because of the irregular shapes and stuff. It's not cool. Not cool, people. I think we're good. Wow, we still have water sources. Whew, that took a lot. That took a lot. You can see we're there now. We're gonna run into we're going to run into some here as we go along, but it really can't be helped. It's the nature of the beast. I should have told Dora not to place cobble, because cobble doesn't insta-mine. But I didn't have the heart. It's not that big of a deal, Dora. Don't worry. Got a lot of water management to do. A lot of water. Yes, we can see some of it, like right over here. We just pull off this top layer first. Hopefully we can get most of it. Good. There we go. Like it. I like it. Okay, we're cool. Ok. There, that's better. That's better. Nice. Okay. No, place. Okay, so we'll just do something like that now that we've got the edge defined. Now we can just crank right through this stuff with impunity. to deal with the gravel, but oh well. Little ASMR with the block breaking here. The stone insta-mining. So satisfying. Let's get out the shovel, I suppose. And let's go clear out an inventory slot for sand. Because we do need... One thing I don't like about the inventory filling up with these other blocks is that then I can't grab the sand. There we go. Of course, I could fill up all my remaining inventory slots with sand. And partial slots, so I only grab sand, but I think that's overthinking it a little bit. Let's just manage. Gravel I'm not going to save, even though it functions like sand and it could be kind of useful that way, but I don't know. I am thinking I do want this copper ore, though. See if there's any more copper ore floating around it. Yeah, there's a little bit. There's a little bit. Then we'll have some water down here at the end. We've got to deal with that. Again, better dealt with from above, so. Oh, look at this guy. From where did you spawn, mister? Oh, yeah. Okay. Totally get it. My bad. Bye-bye, Karibi. There we go. We can't have any of that now, can we? Let's do this. So it is the month of May. It is May 1st. It is May Day today. That means we have a new redeem. And now that we have the redeem system straightened out, that means retiring one redeem and replacing it with a new one. Of which I've yet to do, but we should be ready in time for Kanchi time this Sunday. We'll see. I do have an idea of the redeem I want to do this month. Ooh, we just got some major lag. It could be all these entities floating around right here. Could be that. You know what might be a better management system for this is to use shulkers and have a shulker unloader. That might actually be better, and since we have such a big area to do, it might be worth it. Wow, that's deep. Did I get the rest of it? I think I did. Oh, no. I was thinking, yeah, there's a big patch somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. How am I doing for time here? I have 6 minutes of the stream remaining. I heard that electronic snare for the stream music, and it sounded like a creeper. I'm just saying. It sounded kind of creepy. It sounded like the creeper fuse. All right, we're gonna fill in all of this stuff. Whoa. You know, one of the things I've been thinking about Nova saying is that, you know, we should stream out to new streamers, not just our friends. And I should really use the Buffooncraft stream to do that. But I also feel like if I'm going to do that, I want to stick around with that person for a little while instead of just do a raid and run. And it's Fridays I need to go fetch Kachi, and I don't really have a lot of time to do that. So I'm not quite sure what to do. Change the stream time, maybe? Maybe stream a little earlier, but it's already kind of difficult to get back from dropping Kachi off in the morning, you know, to do the prep work I need to do to get ready for the stream. So I don't know, but I do want to work something out for that. Because I think Nova has a point there, you know, as far as bringing new people into Buffooncraft. I think that's a pretty important thing, and that's a small thing that we can do. That's pretty easy to do. Go. We're way up here on layer 34. Oh my god, we've got to get down to layer 0. This is actually going to be a lot of work. I'm probably going to have to do quite a bit of this off camera. I may even tap a few of the other buffoons on the shoulder, see if they want to help out. I've already gotten a lot of help from Dora, so I don't want to bother her, but maybe I can drag Nebula in here. Maybe she'll want to do some of this with me. Yeah, see, look at this huge water patch here. Wow, this is big. That's a pretty big water patch. Yeah, my pickaxe is getting down there too. Which actually isn't bad timing. I'm right at the end of the stream, so... Just trying to find the edge of this water. I think that's it. I think the edge of it is right there. And then it's a matter of just filling all of this in with the sand. Super tedious. Fuck. If I do raid out to randos, then I do want to get Minecrafters, because the idea is to try to promote more for Buffooncraft, and also to recruit new buffoons. So there's already easily over 10 of us, over a dozen of us easily. But not all the buffoons are able to stream all the time. And so I think that justifies having a lot of buffoons. Okay. Wow, we're getting a lot of this in place. I think we're at the end of the stream now. I have to sign off here. Gotta go get Kachi. Let's go put this right in here. It was fun flying around, though, at the beginning of the stream. That's going to be a thing with many of the buffoons for quite some time. It's just enjoying soaring around. The map gets so small, so fast. Filling in this stuff with sand is a pain in the butt, but it is kind of fun too. I really want to do this whole thing, but I don't really have time. I've got to sign off here. Okay, I already know what my thumbnail's going to be. Turn my light levels back on, so when I spawn in next, I'll know what's going on. Let's do that. Let's flip on back to the camp scene. Cheska's streaming right now. Wreckfest. What is that? But sometimes, you know, I often wonder. I think Cub Fan from Hermitcraft takes raids, and I think Fwip also takes raids. I'm not sure. Of course, we do have MJ too. From where do we know her? Anyways, I'm going to bring you guys over to Cheska for today. Because if I have to think that hard about it, then that means don't do it. Not for now, anyway. Okay, let's set up the raid. Exclamation point raid. And you should be able to see the raid message up there in the chat. You can copy and paste that into the chat if you'd like to come along with us. Join us on this raid to Cheska's JD Fellow Buffoon. Family-friendly viewers, just be advised that Cheska's stream is intended for mature audiences. There's some language and some shenanigans and whatnot. But we have a lot of shared community. Chances are there's people there that you know. She's super cool. So let's set up the raid itself. Let's get that counting down. I think I have that right. Huh? Oh, no, I don't. I need to do that, and that, and then this. Fuck. Bubba. That's what I need to do. Okay, now the raid is counting down for Cheska. Thank you everybody for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. As usual, I like doing this kind of work. And hey, we can fly now. Under our own power. With super high-powered Eliter now in Buffooncraft SMP Season 6. Just remember that we do this stream every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our next stream will be Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be Kachi time, and I have no idea what Kachi's going to want to do. Hopefully Kachi won't be too tired. He's really burnt out. The stream after that will be Wednesday. That'll be from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be Generations, and we should be in the Survival 5 world for that. Also on the weekend, I think it's going to wind up being Sunday. We'll see. I'm not sure what the time is yet. But Buffooncraft Buffoon Skies Season 2 will have the server tour. And that event, I will not be streaming it, but the other buffoons will. So please go check that out when you get a chance. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, your morning, your evening, wherever you happen to be. Join us again next time. We are raiding out to Cheska right now. Bye for now, everyone.